Hi. Those who don't know me, I'm Charity Walden. Um, Many of the very few brave pioneers at this time. Um, well, I just gonna say to you, few thoughts that's in my mind of my own personal journey of being disabled and overcoming disabilities oneself, the social norms of social difficulties of life, you know, and the frustration. I feel those who are in a journey of trying to outcome the social norm journey program that was born into this of feeling that they are a victim in society. And you're right to feel that way. It really is. You know, I come from a complex needs family who's disabled. And it's frustrating, you know. I live in England where, you know, your parents are ignorant, you are forced to live in the sins of your parents and your mother and your father's sins. The sins of them being poor, ignorant, and you have to get out from that program, and it's very difficult. You know, I'm born in Oxford, and you know, I talked to my social worker, you know, and she says, "Oh, it's money, money." When I know it's nothing to do with money, it's to do with mentalities, thinking. Money does help spin the world round, but it's the mentality of others. If you go to places that doesn't have much and you see disabled people overcoming a lot, and they don't have someone to say, "Oh, stop using." If you go on YouTube to see a disabled person from a non-Western culture, and they're born with defects, and they get on with their day. They have to, right? In the society, you know, someone would break the leg and they've been told it's the end of the world, it's the end of their life, go and kill yourself. You know, you're no longer mentally stable to make decisions in your life. You know, I've seen people. I was in detention centre in Christchurch Hospital in Birmingham. I saw a man who was disabled, and he had a family and everything, and was in a social program that told him he could never do anything, and so he ended up being this animal, a thing, breaking the thing, and someone like me came in and said, when I was doing a program, doing mindfulness, right, and I was told, my best student was him. And everybody thought that he doesn't understand. They label him schizophrenic, you name it. And unfortunately, I feel sad that some of the staff probably didn't bother to make sure he practices every day, so so he was no longer considered violent. You know, because it was not his fault. Society put him to be that thing, that animal, that violent thing, instead of being a human being, a god. He became a thing, and a demon, breaking things, and all because in itself, in the inner child, he was told he was nobody, you know, and his partner had nothing to do with him. He couldn't see his children, you know. He see government buildings, and he would get angry. But when he was doing the mindfulness and meditating, the things that I felt to say in the group, that he became this person that they didn't believe he could be. A civil being, a person who can control. He didn't need medication. What he needed is someone to believe in him and say, well, yes, you got this, but there is other ways to do things. no different than the first, as the documentary from the BBC drama of the man who is from Germany after World War II, who invented Paralympics game. The first Paralympic Games was in disabled Olympic game was in London by this German man, the first team in England, and he was from Germany, and he was saying to the people who were disabled, who had no limbs, arms, who were thinking they was dying, that there was no mortality. Unfortunately, England is still like this, and he had to tell them holistically that it was their fault, and not let the world stigma, whether they came from wealthy homes or poor, that and said, find something that you can able to do. Everybody in this life has something can do, but in reality, where people have come from poor homes, ethnic minority, are brought down to be angry animals, demons, entities, empty vessels. And then there's nothing. So for him, it was like, oh my goodness, I'm calm. I feel peace. And he started to be like, actually, I can paint. Yes, it's not exactly the standards of the world of making a living, but I can paint. I can control my thoughts at times. To breathe in and out and remember who he really is, even in that few 5-minute space. I was lucky to have some people in my life that gave me that. They didn't say at the time mindfulness. Some of these people was the angels in disguise in the real world, who came from special needs schools who had holistic experiences, qualifications, and they was humble enough to do for free or have or disguised to be teachers at schools or teacher assistant to make a difference, and they make my life good, and especially being a spiritual tuned person and having some people at church who had spiritual knowledge show me things. Yes, I came from a Christian background, but I was shown about holistic views and everything. And, I was even a teacher. She was a wonderful lady, and she did meditation before we did, and even did meditation while we was doing dancing. And it encouraged me to convince my mother to go to the dance theatre company to go and dance, and I didn't remind me that I'm not disabled. I was actually got something ability that I had dancing. I love dancing. Of course, that dream stopped because my mother didn't have belief. But maybe it's not my destiny. Maybe one day I will teach people to dance in a certain way, like that she did to me, but I can't remember her name, but it doesn't matter. What matters is that we all have abilities and stuff, but yeah, yes, I feel disheartening still that there is no real place for someone like me to have a real life. I'm still feeling that in Oxford, UK, that people are narrow-minded and prejudiced. I'm held back for life because of people's beliefs, but I still, while I'm stuck here, I still can create and for my family's poor perception, the community I go to, church, anywhere in the world, even on YouTube, that people like me has something real purpose in life. You know, I can believe as much as I like, but people like me get locked up for believing, go out over the believing status. It only takes very few people to actually stand up, outspokenly, not supporting me silently, but actually stand up out of their comfortable situation, comfort zone, and actually say, she doesn't deserve this treatment. We're going to get her out in some way. Like some of the few angels disguised in my life has made sure that I was able to get out in some way, even though they was only there for that short amount of journey in my life. Anybody who is not disabled, you need to get out of the comfort zone, because society is not going to believe anybody. If you want to help disabled people, go out and help them. And yes, even if it means by free, that's the best way, because not everybody can afford to. People do not have, even if it means doing it in an angel's disguise, but doing holistic approach without actually telling them they're doing a holistic approach. Go to hospitals and do sound therapy, or go in the detention centre and start teaching yoga. I mean it. A meditation. Give people a chance to help themselves to fish so they can get out. I'm disheartened at this time, but I have to just keep on believing that I am a smart, intelligent woman who doesn't belong in a controlling environment where I should be treated as a child and be monitored and everything. Yes, I'm very grateful that I'm allowed to be out at certain hours, and now got permission to be allowed to go out certain amount of hours, and but my social worker is now looking for a place for me. But I know that time is going that thing. I've been trapped my whole life. I'm a young person. I should be using enough of my youth and intelligence. But I feel moved to share this experience, this journey I'm in. I'm a strong person, but even I get frustrated and discouraged that I'm on this journey on my own. Own of out trying to get out from the social norm of the program that I'm being put in, saying it always shall be, it always is and always shall be. Conditioning, as a song from Slipper on the Roads. People should go and have a look, rent it from Amazon, Slipper on the Roads, because I'm telling you, that is reality of British politics, of how they think society should be. It's all about conditioning. No one go out of their social norm. People like Princess Diana to go out of her way to help the common folks. She was murdered because she did the thing and she didn't care, because she was a true soul. She was like braver than most people. She came from a family who was Freemans, who went out and helped people. I'm not talking about Freemasonry people. I'm talking about what I mean about Freeman. a person who believes in helping people to be free, no matter the price is. People like Jo Mark, she was a freeman. She went out her way, no matter what, the cause, to be a free person. You know, but yeah, it takes courage to go out from the social program, that belief system of a parent who always think that you are vulnerable. It's being assigned to make you vulnerable, you know. But through my knowledge of God, I know that's not who I am. For those who don't believe in God, that's fine. That's your personal choice. But for me, I've seen a lot more in life. And I don't see it with religion. Because I've people who say religion, I think it's a phenomenal. For me, that's a purpose of experience that I have, of knowledge, a personal knowledge for me. As I said, that's the only source I can go through, because human beings let me down a lot. But as I said though, but yeah, you know, even strong people like me are let down, and I feel like that life is hard when people are not supporting you to be your true self, because they think it's the best thing for them to control you and to sustain you and say what you can say and what you can't say, rules, and say this is there for your own good, when they don't understand that it's suffocating you and killing you, because that's not your true destiny. Your true destiny is to overcome, not to remain the position that people think you are. There's different types of overcoming disease and disabilities and poverty. Even if it's just the way you think. Even if it means your circumstances not change, it's the way you think. The way you know, people think about disabled people as, well, they don't look this way, and so force people who are disabled that they're mentally inclined, they're younger than they really are, poor intellect, you know. I met two people who had Down syndrome, mentally had cerebral palsy, and they were the most intellectual people. They were raised to, despite the girls, because their parents raised them and their siblings raised them, that they was able to think themselves independent. You know, they show me to that. You know, they go out every day to teach people that they are value in the community. Even if it means going to their day center every day and motivating and somewhat a service user, but yet they're volunteering in their place. You know, of course I can't tell you names, but these people, these few people I know, you know, that even work. I met when I was in Birmingham, went to church. This girl, had cerebral palsy, and you know, which meant people, you know, / Down syndrome, and she was working in Debenhams. But yet her mother didn't seem to feel that she was spiritually understanding enough to go to the temple at church. And I was thinking, actually, I had to tell the mother. I said to him, look, to her, your daughter has more understanding than you think. You need to ask God to help you to understand exactly who she is, because I felt she deserved more. But human beings just suppress. You know, why do you think it took us thousand years for people to even accept that black people or ethnic minority was same intellectual people as the right race, right? Because of the white Western thinking, you know, they came over and they took everything from my ancestors. My mom's side, it was Carib tribal people. The Carib tribal people, they were very mixed race. Anybody who's learned about the old world knows that a lot of tribal people was mixed race. But history was burnt, and now truth is coming out now. You can get blood of people have somewhat found truth, even in some forms, because you can't hide truth. It comes out, and that's how it is. Yes, it's going to take a long time for people to accept until there is actually a new world reborn of humans to accept that disabled people are just as equal as them. Just as equal. And then the fact that actually the real disabled people are people who are the social elite. They don't want, they're mentally and their heart is disabled because people who cannot see people as equal or have enough compassion or don't want to share those who are equal, they're the real disabled people. I'm sorry to tell you, there are. Because a person who has not enough the mind to willing to learn whatever, any facts or any thinking of any way, this want to be celestial, that's the real disability. Not having a heart. Being narrow-minded, closed-minded, stiff-necked. Then they are the real people who are disabled. Ignorancy is one of the top. Ignorancy and pride and snobbery is the real disability. Once you have those stuff, you have no compassion. You have no want to learn anything. You're not willing to, even if it doesn't make sense to you, you don't want to learn. But once you move that, then you can understand things. And disability is not. It doesn't exist. Yes, you realistically, yes, everybody has disability in some way or a thing, but it doesn't really exist anymore. You more likely say, well, everybody has ability and I have ability. Yes, this is a disadvantage, but I'm going to go up, even if it means it's just here and here. And everybody's telling me that I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not capable of having the equalities as they are. Even at church, I had people thinking I was not even quality to even have a mission, to have a full-time mission, when I had a vision that I would have been a missionary in India. Maybe it would not be the church. Maybe it would be God to find a different way. I don't know. But my mission in life is my mission. The hard mission is here, sharing this truth to you, and we're motivating people. Yes, I'm not like everybody else. where I've got thousand YouTube videos. It doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is I'm doing this. I'm doing this for people to know they're not alone, and what really matters and what the reality of the truth is. It's particularly with the social adjustment. I don't come here to be a victim. I came here as a survivor. Like many of my ancestors, from being Irish, from a working class family, coming from surviving for a family who most likely has survived being from tribal royalty from Caribbean to white French aristocrats. You name it. I got things, but of course, at this time, I'm not able to go back to my actual history to actually find things. All I know is from family stories. That's all. Because I can't even go to my Irish history right now because there's a stupid law. You couldn't even go back to a certain time. But it does matter. What I know is enough. I know enough at this present to know that my whole family is survivors, and we don't see the true people like me. Don't see it as a victim. They see, well, okay, things just take over, but we are surviving, and that's how it is. Society can kick you down and be a social outcast, but just keep on trying. Because they only wins when they convince you you're crazy, you're dumb, you're not smart enough, and you're not worth to be alive in this country, or your country, or anybody who is in the other world who is being suppressed. Because that's what they want. They won't want you to fail. They want you to kill yourself. They want you to be locked up. They want you to be suicidal. They want it all. They want you to quit. To be overcoming being disabled, overcoming the mentality that they put you in. This is a battle of surviving. That's it. Spiritually, physically, and mentally a battle. If you want to overcome this mentality, then you have to accept these three facts. Because it's all psychologically ordered. I became from spiritual phenomenal circumstances. I don't care what you think, but that's reality. What survival? I prayed like mad to be able to read. And as well as having people to have compassion to help me, whether they were atheists or not. And I know where that source comes from. People who don't know true source, they don't survive. Go look in the news at people who have some celebrities, It's only real people who know who they really are and have true sources in life. And they know the real source of where their gift comes from, their abilities, of overcoming, of why they survive. And meaning in life, that they're able to overcome a lot compared to someone who doesn't. And that's how it is. Anyway, I'm gonna just keep on trying to be happy and be gratitude, even though I am frustrated. It's hard to see loads of people having a nice, easy time compared to someone like me who doesn't have it easy. I don't have any real team right now to lift me up. All I got is myself and belief in God. That's all I got. and believe that I've got a future, I got a purpose to go through, and that there is places for me. There is that it's not is and that I have the right to fight for my injustice, social injustice. I have the right to dress how I want. I have the right to feel that to want to live a normal life, and believe that people can overcome a lot of things. And that's what I think. Good night, everybody. Bye.